Welcome to the awesome post-game show where we're super excited and
Welcome
having
to the
best
Matt
time.
LaFleur going to Cancun party, everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Game's not over. There's a minute, 26 seconds left.
No, it's over. It's over. So this is an instant Packers reaction. So let's start with it. Number one, 0 points in the first half. Love didn't play great. Me and Doug argued about it. But there was also about 5 or 6 drops in this game. We ran the ball 16 times to 5 passes. We are finally good in the fourth quarter when we open it up and have to go fast. And LaFleur refuses to learn that that's something he should try to do earlier. LaFleur refuses to change his game plan. He refuses to learn from games before. He calls his terrible, wide receiver end arounds that don't work at all. Our offensive line has trouble. We get stupid penalties that cost us points. This is a poorly coached football team, guys. It's just, you just have to admit it.
You got 4th and 1. You have receiving options out there. You have 4 guys out there. One of them's bound to catch. Jacobs is bound to get open, out in the flat just for a yard.
Yeah.
You don't run the damn ball. You don't need to establish your run. You've established you couldn't run it. Anyways, why not try the pass? Why take it out of the hands of your best offensive weapon?
Thank you. And I love Josh Jacobs. I trust Josh Jacobs and I love him. But if you're going to go for it on 4th and 2, running like an up the middle, delayed handoff is the worst possible decision you can make. It gives the defensive lineman the exact amount of time to read the play and get in the backfield. You run that on 3rd and 9. You don't run that on 4th and 2. So yeah, Matt LaFleur has no idea what he's doing. Our wide receivers are a detriment to the team again. It looks like 2024. And Love had a bad game, but he also had zero help. He had that pass to Wicks was perfect. Wicks drops it. On the last play, they call the right pass play. I'll give this to LaFleur that he calls the right play to have him go out. Jacobs turns the wrong way. Jordan Love throws it exactly where he should. Jacobs doesn't catch it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. This offense scored 0 points in the first half. They've scored less than 10 against everyone except for Dallas and the Bengals, who are the 2 worst offenses defenses in the NFL. This offense is broken. LaFleur is broken. And I got to say, I think Ed Policy seriously considers his options for coaches at the end of the year if this keeps up, because LaFleur, this is a poorly coached football team. There's just no way around it. Hype, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's always a thing of they're young, they're inexperienced and all this stuff, and there's so many things you can talk about on the floor, but the key is, like you just mentioned earlier, the ball should be in Jordan Love's hands to make decisions. Like, he does make mistakes here and there through the game, but the problem is he has to play pretty much perfect for the Packers to win a football game, which is completely insane. To say a quarterback has to play like a perfect game to win and the core problem here is the offensive line is bad. So as much as we are mad at LaFleur, and I am too, for many different things, he's got a coach around the offensive line just making mistakes constantly. We just played the Panthers, who are playing literally 4 or 5 backups, and their offensive line outclassed us by a fucking universe,
by a mile.
Light years better than our offensive line. Right. And we're supposed to have a good offensive line coach. Senovich is supposed to be really good. So it's very confusing what's going on with this team. I saw, on that deep touchdown pass, Xavier McKinney's supposed to be a trusted veteran, and he's just confused doing nothing. He's just standing there while Evans is trying to get the guy over the top, and Evans tries to make a play, but whatever, you know what I mean? But there's constantly signs of lack of effort on players like Elton Jenkins and stuff like that. And I think the coaching staff needs to start holding these guys accountable for making just dumb mistakes all the time. They think there are player coaches where they're like, oh, they'll figure it out type thing, right? But you need to fix that, and you need to put the ball in Jordan Love's hands to make decisions in this game.
Especially on 4th and 2 with,
and speaking of that, the Packers getting the ball back with 20 seconds left.
It doesn't
27
matter.
seconds at the 40.
All right. I mean, we are recording it like they already lost. But
we are now. That's why they might win, because we already.
This is a postpartum, but you got to double check before you.
Valentine, thank you for not picking that off and actually knocking it down, because intercepting it there would have been the dumbest thing of all time. So good job knocking it down.
He might be the MVP of the game right now.
So here's the thing that's going to happen. LaFleur's had an absolute stinker. Sirianni goes for this on 4th and passes it. Like, what is he thinking here? What is he thinking here? Now he gives the Packers a chance to get some yards and tie it. We'll miss the field goal or whatever. But like Sirianni's going to get a ton of flack tomorrow for having a terrible game as well.
And the question is, what kicker do we have warming up?
Yeah.
McManus.
Yeah. And, I'm not happy with the defense. We got 0 sacks. We don't have any pressure. But we got a turnover, and they've allowed 10 points. Like, you cannot blame the defense here. You cannot blame the defense for this game. This is 100% on the offense. It's on the floor. It's on the play calling. It's on the offensive line, which, again, Jordan Love had to escape. And he tried, dude. Nice throw. But,
he's double covered there. I mean,
but dude, he had to get the ball off.
I'm thinking you have to cut it a little bit shallower there just because you see.
Yeah, you got to put it out to the left. That throw should have been to the left.
If you had to cut that a little bit shallower, I think you could have pulled away from the DB.
Yeah.
But all in all, maybe. I'd say this play calling for the offense the entire game has been completely uninspiring. 14 seconds run, you got time to clock it.
All right, you better go up there and spike it
10,
now.
6.
You got to get a few more yards for a field goal.
5 seconds.
I don't know if you can get a few more yards in 5 seconds. That's tough.
They got to have somebody right there at covering.
See, the thing is, if they had the other kicker can make it from there.
Yeah, McManus
can't.
I mean, do they just trot him out and try it at this point?
I guess
that's what they're doing.
Okay. Again,
giving them 5 extra yards would be nice, but what is this? This is like a 60-yarder or something?
I think it's longer than that.
The other kid makes 60-yarders in his sleep.
Yeah, he made a 62-yarder. That's the Packers record.
And it could have been good from like 65 plus.
Yeah, so McManus's record is 63. So I think this breaks McManus's.
There's some wind at play here too. The wind is going to the left or right.
Yeah. And then the clock. Is it going to be delay a game?
What's happening right now? Did the Eagles call a timeout?
Eagles called a timeout, I guess. Nobody knows what's going on.
Can we get the other kicker in there while this timeout's happening?
Right. So the frustrating thing is you're able to warm up your. Oh, so he kicked it. Well, that one was short. Good thing they called the timeout because that one was short. The refs underneath the field goal post weren't even looking for that one.
Yeah, it missed by like 3 feet. Okay.
But this has got to kind of be like with the Bears with Urlacher and Briggs and whatnot, what we were with Kyle Orton, where you do amazing on the defense the entire game, and then you just get tired because you see uninspiring offense.
Jordan Love is on the field.
Yes, and you got somebody waiting right at the sideline, right at the 40 for Philly.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on here? So they don't think McManus can make it. So they're just going to try a bomb.
Well, they're going to see if perhaps they didn't have somebody right at the sidelines. Which
they literally just put people at the boundary, and Jordan Love just threw it out of bounds.
Well, they thought that we'd be the Bears from last year, where we left those wide open. Like we did.
That's true.
That was the play where you just throw it deep to Christian Watson and hope that he's wide open out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think McManus can make it, but you know what? Fuck it. Give him a chance. Give him a chance.
What is how many yards is this?
He was shy by about 3 yards on that first one that he kicked. And this one got
4 yards. Oh boy.
But
what the hell was that? He blocked. Was that blocked?
Yeah, that was blocked. But this is just a totally uninspiring offense, and that starts at the head coach. Like you said before, Carmen policy, is it Carmen?
I think
Philadelphia's third game with
really
the block
not extending LaFleur right now. It's just
no.
Next year's LaFleur's last year, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say, all right, you have to earn it if you want to have that extension, because right now I'm not going to give it to you.
No, I agree. And, I don't think McManus makes that anyway. It's cool that we actually got a chance. But Philadelphia with their third field goal block to win a game this year.
Yeah, McManus kicked it into the guys. His kick was terrible.
Yeah, he knew he didn't have the leg for it, so he kicked it really low. Yeah, he knew he didn't have the leg for it.
Like he kicked it to the left. I mean, the kick would have been like super off.
But again,
yeah.
it's cold conditions. It's really cold.
And if you watch, Doug's right. If you watch the trajectory, if that doesn't get blocked, it's like 15 yards to the left.
It might have hit the offensive lineman in the back of the helmet. That's how bad the kick was.
Yeah. Well, I think this is another thing to discuss too. So McManus has been shit since he came back. And when that rookie substitute teacher that we got has made all his field goals and he kicked a 62-yarder. So,
and it was not even hard for him.
And honestly, if we have that kid in this situation right here in 64 yards, I have a good feeling he makes it. I did not.
It's like a 40% he makes that kick, but McManus is like 2%.
10. Yeah, I'd say 10% for McManus, 40% for the kid.
I mean, what I just saw makes me look like 0%.
Yeah. No, even if that doesn't get blocked, it's not even close to going in. No, Philadelphia didn't deserve to win, but the Packers deserved less. So, you know, it is what it is. The Packers definitely did not deserve to win that game. Again, they had 6 scoring opportunities. They score 7, you know, and not in the red zone this week, but in the Eagles territory. They score 7
The best part
points.
about this game is, you know, how it's really hard to beat a team twice in one season. So if we play them again, then we have karma to maybe beat them that time.
I don't think so.
That's the only positive out of this game.
No, I don't think so. And even then, even if we get the field goal there, I have a feeling Philadelphia in overtime just.
But you saw Jordan Love was doing pretty good there. He was in his mode where he's just slinging the ball down the field, right?
Again, look what happens when you let him throw the ball down the field, LaFleur. No, this is LaFleur had a terrible game plan.
His ability in those moments is like literally MVP, NFL MVP level of like ability to kind of do that with his arm talent. So like that's why I get so pissed off when like, you know, he has to play perfect. He shouldn't have to play perfect to win games.
Well, and it's because of this like trudgy, gross offense that we run out there. Like, dude, you know how teams like Dave knows this from the Bears, right? You have a script you go into the game on your first drive. And and by far of all the drives in the game, the first drive of the game results in the most points for every single team across the league because they have this script, they practice it, they know what they're doing. The Packers haven't scored on an opening drive since week 2.
Wow.
So that's Matt LaFleur, guys. Matt LaFleur has no game script that's working. We're making mistakes to ruin drives. Again, it's a poorly coached team. And the Eagles are a good football team. Losing to the Eagles is nothing to be ashamed of, even at home. They do this to everybody, right? But again, what was the game plan today, Matt LaFleur? To play the Eagles style of football, because that's what you did. You played the Eagles style of football, and they're happy to walk out of there with a 10-7 win. Your offense is better than the Eagles. Your defense is actually better than the Eagles, and you lost because you played their way of playing. And then finally, when we opened it up, we started moving the ball. It's like he doesn't watch the same game tape that we watch. Like maybe, you know, he's an NFL head coach. What do I know? But I mean, I've noticed that we only score in the fourth quarter when he opens up the game and lets Jordan Love throw, right? Yep. So I've noticed that. I wonder why he hasn't noticed that. I wonder.
Have you noticed how Jordan Love's a great thrower of the football and Jalen Hurts can barely even get the ball past 5 yards?
I'm telling you, Jordan Love was running for his life this whole game, and he made plays and he made a few bad decisions and maybe he missed a few guys, but there was also 4 drops, and then the Jacobs turning the wrong way when Love makes the right decision. I mean, in close games like this, every single drop counts. How many drops did the Eagles have tonight? 0. None.
Yeah,
right?
And the Packers had some injuries at wide receiver, like Matthew Golden was out. He would have been nice to have in this game.
No, he really hasn't done that much this season, though. He hasn't been a game changer.
Yeah, but like in times like this, when you need to have just like a crossing route that he can break out for like another 30 yards with his speed, like that's what Jordan Love needs in the fourth quarter.
Also,
he has good hands.
I think I noticed something too. I think Christian Watson needs glasses because in the first part of the game where he tries to play defense, the ball hits him in the head. Okay. And then the next one where Jordan Love does overthrow him a little bit, you see Watson adjust to the ball, but he adjusts incorrectly to where the ball's behind him. Watch that in replay. I think Christian Watson needs glasses because he cannot track the ball. I mean, one time it hits him in the head because he thinks it's over his head. And the next time he overruns it to where he's reaching behind himself when he's got 2 or 3 seconds to adjust to the ball in the air. Well, that's an exaggeration, like a second and a half to adjust. Yeah. But like if you're adjusting to the ball and you're running to it and it ends up a foot behind your head, you might have a vision problem. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm actually saying I think the kid might need glasses because that's 2 deep balls where he completely misjudged it.
You have to also consider he shouldn't even be back by now. He came back super early from his injury, and he hasn't really played football until the last month or so, right?
No, but that's not a my leg hurts problem. That's
he's just like tracking the ball and playing in a game. Like he just hasn't done that. Like, and you know what I mean? It's like this is like a preseason game time for him.
I understand that's fair, but that's to me that's more of an oculary issue versus like my legs are.
Or he's just thinking, hey, there's 2 defenders here, and I just better bat it down instead of worrying about.
And that was his initial reaction because he thought it was over his head. But when he turns to play defense, it hits him in the head, which means if he had turned around, he would have caught it right here. Right. So that's all I'm saying is like judging distance and speed is an oculary thing. So I don't know. Either way, the Packers offense is broken. It's broken right now and it needs to get fixed. And we thought maybe LaFleur would come out with a good game plan without Tucker Kraft. And what we learned is that LaFleur doesn't have game plans and that every game is the same and that we just wait, we make mistakes and then we just wait for Jordan Love to carry us at the end of the game. That's all we do. Like, and again, LaFleur called some decent plays in this game that didn't work out because of penalty or Jordan Love didn't pick the right guy. I get that. I'm not saying every call LaFleur made was bad, but what I'm saying is this team isn't ready to play football. And that's 100% on Matt LaFleur. They're making mistakes. Their timing's off. They just cannot get in any sort of rhythm. And when they come out on these first drives, they just always make mistakes or they mess things up. So I don't know what LaFleur does to change it, but I'm not saying LaFleur is going to get fired at the end of the year. I mean, we're still a playoff team as of today, but I have serious doubts that LaFleur is going to take this Packers team anywhere other than, second round of the playoffs ever. So yeah, I have some serious doubts.
Well,
I'm interested in Monken, the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. I'm interested in him. Just going to say that. You know what? I'll take Robert Saleh. Forget it. No, I don't think we should get a defensive guy. I think the Packers are better with offensive coordinators.
We need someone that was really good at the quarterback play.
Yeah. All right, so this is our Packers reaction. Matt LaFleur has a stinker. Jordan Love starts off not great, tries to carry us, can't do it. Defense played okay again. Packers find a way to lose and now have one of the worst offenses in the NFL over the last month. Dave, what are your thoughts?
This is just a highly uninspiring offense to watch. And it's frustrating because, like you said, Jordan Love has the arm talent. I think that he tries to stay in the pocket too much. One of the things that Caleb has benefited from is he's in the pocket and then he goes off of there's a gap that'll form off of the right guard. So that's where he ducks out. So that way the edge rushers go past him and then he runs out in the flats and then he still tries to keep the play alive and then he runs. And I think Jordan Love has the athleticism to where I think that might be a possible benefit for him. I think that's something that he should try. Don't just stay in the pocket, because the defense knew where he would be in every play. They didn't try any rollouts or anything else, which
they did not.
He's athletic enough.
Yeah. That's something that I wish LaFleur would do too, Dave, is do rollouts or do like some sort of quarterback thing because the offensive line is so bad. And we were talking about this off camera before, where if you watch the Packers defensive pass rush, everyone goes around the outside. Jalen Hurts just steps up. There's a huge gap. He can throw or he can run. Jordan Love has nowhere to step up because he's getting pushed from the middle. The center and the guard positions are pushing in front of his face. So if you watch it in this game, every time Jordan Love escapes, it's to the outsides because the tackles are still playing well and he can find a gap outside to the left, but he can't step up to make throws. Even on that last drive, 2 of those throws he made, he gets smacked in the chest as soon as he throws it because they're just collapsing the pocket. So I'm not saying he's seeing ghosts, but I think Jordan Love is aware that he doesn't have anywhere to go. And so he's trying to find the pass as fast as possible. And yeah, sometimes he's holding on to it too long, but he does not have enough time to throw on nearly every single play. When he does make the play, he's getting hit as soon as he throws it. And that's a bad offensive line. And I don't know what happened to the offensive line, but I can tell you, if I was a defensive coordinator playing the Packers, I know exactly what I would do. I would attack the middle and I would make them run outside, which LaFleur does sometimes, but they don't block outside runs well. And so when they try to run up the middle, I know I'm going to stop them. And when they try to pass, I know I'm going to get a pass rush up the middle. And if you watch this game, the Eagles blitzed a linebacker up the middle, I think like at least a dozen times or more in this game, because it is an obvious weakness of the Packers. And I would just do it over and over and over and over again, because LaFleur will not adjust and he will not figure it out. And he will not bootleg, because you know how you fix that, right? You bootleg guys out to the right, or you run screen passes, which we've run plenty of those, but they don't seem to work. So okay, so the Packers go to the Giants next week. Now, I said the Packers would somehow win this game and then lose to the Giants. I still think we lose to the Giants, though, with this new coach, because Jackson Dart will play, and I think we'll have the exact problem that we had today, but Jackson Dart will run the ball, where our defensive linemen get on the outsides. Jackson Dart steps up and just takes like 18 yards on us. But what do you think, Dave? What do you think the Packers' chances of winning at the Giants next week are?
I'm not sure. If it was a second concussion, then I'd say Dart would definitely be out. But I know it's the fourth time that they put him in the blue tent to check for concussions. It's only the first time they said, yeah, it is one. So I'm not sure whether that's a 50-50 shot or not. If it's Russell Wilson, I like Green Bay's chances to win 7-3.
I'm laughing because
if Jackson Dart starts, they lose.
Yeah.
If Jackson Dart finishes the game, Green Bay loses.
I think they lose to Russell Wilson. I hate to say it, but I think they lose like 13-10 or something. I will not believe this offense is good until I see him put up another 27 points, because, again, the Pittsburgh game, they took over the second half, right? So other than that second half of the Pittsburgh game, they've been awful on offense for almost a month. For almost a month, they've been awful on offense until Jordan Love resurrects them in the fourth quarter. That's the only time we seem to have any offense whatsoever. So I really hope Matt LaFleur just keeps getting a bunch of crap, because, yes, there was a lot of issues in this game, but Matt LaFleur needs to be held accountable for how bad this team is playing on offense, because it's just really bad. It's really bad. It's uninspired. That's the best way to put it, Dave. It's uninspired. All right, my final thoughts on the Packers. Do they even make the playoffs playing the way they are? Do you think they turn around? Because the schedule, after the Giants game, the schedule gets really rough. What do you think the Packers are going to do this year?
Is that a question for me? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you cutting out.
Yes. And so now that the Packers have lost 2 in a row, they go to play the Giants next week, likely lose that game. Do you think they're a playoff team still with their remaining schedule?
Yeah, they'll make the playoffs because the NFL is just crazy. Other teams will lose and win. It's going to be like a super crazy year. They'll make the playoffs, but I think it's just going to be unhinged craziness and sanity, because there's no consistency with the Packers other than inconsistency. Right. In the big core of this is their offensive line is just so bad. Like,
so bad.
I can be upset with LaFleur, but like, what coach in the history of the world can overcome having like such a bad offensive line in every possible way? I mean, it does help that Jordan Love has a great arm, and he often does rise to the occasion to make big throws, but like, he plays so great when he has decent pass blocking, right? And as the season goes on, all these problems are getting worse instead of better. And that just makes me think that like they'll end up making the playoffs, and it'll be like last year where they play, a team like the Eagles or somebody and lose by a touchdown or two.
Yeah. And again, the Eagles came into this game with one of the worst sacks stats in the league. And now they did go get Jalen Phillips, but they had 3 sacks today to the 0 for the Packers.
And they put enough pressure on Jordan Love where even when he had like what you would consider good pass blocking, the pocket was still collapsing on him. Like,
and it was, again, the 2 D tackles up the middle were causing all the disruption against our guard scenario. And that was my major fear. And
the Giants got a D line.
And the Giants have a very good defensive line.
Brian Burns has 11 sacks already on the year.
That's right. They have actually much better pass rushers.
The Giants have lost because of ineptitude and because they've broken their own backs in games. Now that Dable is gone, they will get the coach lift. And the Giants' greatest strength is their D line. Our greatest weakness is our O line. That makes a huge difference. I think Russell Wilson beats the Packers next week. I have no doubt that the Giants win next week whatsoever. I'm going to put money on it, but I'd say I'm about 92% sure that the Giants win that game. even with Russell Wilson, because of the O-line, D-line issues, and because Matt LaFleur won't have a game plan to fix that, and because we will go out and play like we want to win 13-10. So, and that plays to the Giants' strengths as well. So
It's still, you brought up a good question about the playoffs. It's the midway point. Green Bay has 5 wins. We'll split with the Bears. We'll split with the Vikings because the last week of the season is at Minnesota. Minnesota will have nothing else to play for but to beat Green Bay.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be motivated there. So that's 2 wins.
Yep.
Ravens the week before that. I don't count that to be a win. At the Broncos, so that's a solid defense, a crappy offense. So that might be another 10-3 or 10-7.
That one could go either way. That one could. That's.
But this is the thing. If
really
our defense can actually get a pass rush, that makes a huge difference. Like we can win a bunch of those games.
But
if the defense
here's what I'm saying. Your offense needs to score more than 16 points.
Right. And again,
I'm not talking about your defense now.
Yeah.
I'm saying your offense needs to score 17 or more points.
And I don't
nice
think
that the defense held them
we
to
can
that,
do
but the problem is teams have huge they drives every time they get the ball. They drive all the way down the field and take up all the time in the game, so there's not a lot of drives.
But again, against the Panthers, that was a problem, but we had 5 red zone possessions. We scored 7. Against the Eagles, that was a problem, but we had 5 possessions.
Sure,
in
I'm just saying though that in
6,
the beginning of the season
7.
we got amazing, good pass rush and we won games.
Right. Well, no, the thing is that when we're getting in situations where we can get points on the board, we're either making wrong decisions, making mistakes, or just not getting it done. We were really good in the red zone to start this season. I think the Packers were like 3rd in red zone scoring to start the season. But if you look at the last 2 weeks, we're 1 of 8 now in red zone scoring. So that's a problem.
Yeah. Again, you have three losses this year where you held the other team to 13, 16, and 10 points.
Yeah.
So the question isn't your defense. Your defense is great. Your defense is doing what you'd hope they would. It's can LaFleur get this offense off the ground? And I don't know that he can.
Can we score any first half points? So if we do score fourth quarter points, we win. I mean, dude, the Eagles defense is not terrible, but you saw it. That was that was Nick Sirianni's first shutout as a coach in the first half since 2021 or something, right? I mean, it's awful. Our offense is pathetic. It's pathetic. And again, it has to do with receivers not doing their job, the offensive line not doing their job, but it's so uninspired. LaFleur is coaching so scared to be aggressive that Jordan Love can't get into the game either. And then when he finally does and we're aggressive, it's too late. It's too late most of the times, right? I'm tired of watching Jordan Love try to save us in the fourth quarter. Spread it out in the first half and just see what happens because you're not scoring anyway. So you might as well try something new. No huddle offense. Hell, man, let Bo Melton throw the ball for all I care to Jordan Love, Ben Johnson offense, right? Throw it to the quarterback. Be creative a little bit. Try something. I think LaFleur is scared to try something.
Anything to inject excitement or energy into your offense because right now they're just flat.
Right.
And everyone looks like they're running through the motions. Wicks tried to get everyone psyched in the third quarter when he made a catch, and he's up, he's hitting the helmet, he's doing rah, 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 trying to get everyone psyched because even he could see, man, we don't have any juice right now.
No juice.
And so now, if Green Bay, if you need to win 10 games to get into the playoffs, Green Bay has 5. They need to get 5 more. I don't think they make the playoffs. If they can get in as a 9-win team, 50-50 shot. But I don't think Green Bay is going to get to 10 wins.
Yeah. So if we lose, I would say if we lose to the Giants, it's over. Because I agree with Dave. We got to win 10 games. So we'd have to win the Giants game, 1 Vikings game, 1 Bears game, and either beat the Broncos or the Ravens, right?
Or at Detroit.
Or win or go 2-0 against Detroit and Minnesota. Right. So we would have to finish 4-2 in the division and defeat the Ravens or the Broncos, which I could see us winning one of the Ravens or Broncos games. I could see that. But I don't know if we're going to go 4-2 in the division, which means we have to we'd have to go 5-1, in the division because if let's say we split with the Bears, we'd have to sweep the Lions and the Vikings. Basically.
Oh no, you already beat the Lions in week 1. So but it's just winning at Detroit. I think that's they'll have their claws out. That's going to be an interesting game. And I'm not.
Yeah, sorry. What I meant, Dave, is that we have to go 4-1 going forward in the division, which would leave us 5-1, right? Basically. if we lose to the Giants. If we beat the Giants, then we could go forward too in the division. But I agree. 10 wins is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for these Packers because it's going to come down to that Browns game and that Panthers game, 2 games we should have won. Because I said we needed to win 7 games after the Giants game. We can only be at 6 now. And yeah, it's not looking too good. But dude, part of me, I don't know. Part of me, if we don't make the playoffs, okay, here's a question for you guys. If we start off as hot as we did, 5-1-1, and we miss the playoffs, do you fire Matt LaFleur?
Hype.
Wait.
The Packers were 5-1-1 at one point, Doug.
Right.
Okay.
And then we end up missing the playoffs.
And if we're 5-1-1 and we miss the playoffs, which means we would have gone 4-7 basically after that, right? 9-8-1 or 9-7-1 would be our final record. So sorry. So we would have gone 4-6 to finish the year. Do you fire Matt LaFleur?
Are you saying is Ed Policy going to fire him, or do I decide if
You
I fire him?
I'm asking you, do you do it?
That's a real tough decision after all these years and building up Jordan Love to look like a really good quarterback and everything, right? Do I trust? This is the thing. Jordan Love has great arm talent. Do I trust another coach to come in and at least maintain all that with Jordan Love and his consistency? Like, if it depends if I have really good coaches to choose from that I really believe in. Otherwise, it'd be really hard for me to fire Matt LaFleur.
Fair enough. Dave, what about you? Do you think Matt LaFleur should be fired if he misses the playoffs after starting 5-1-1?
No, but I'd definitely make him go into a lame duck season next year.
Yeah.
Make him earn that extension. I wouldn't extend him. I'd be like, all right, put up or shut
Oh yeah,
up.
definitely. I think extending him. I think I require
that's off of the table right now entirely.
100%.
I'd extend him.
Even if they make the playoffs, I need to see them play well in the playoffs before I even consider an extension with Matt LaFleur.
If they can get to an NFC Championship game, extend them. Anything short of that, no way.
Yeah.
Well,
or if
how much of the problem is in the offensive line being absolute trash and Goody like getting a guy that's not really an upgrade in offensive line? And
yeah, Aaron Banks has been terrible. He's still hurt. Everyone says that's mostly due to the injury.
And the guys they drafted for offensive line are just okay, but they're not good.
Yeah, he hasn't done a good job drafting offensive linemen in higher rounds. Again, Zach Tom was a 5th rounder, and Wallace is a 7th rounder. Those are our 2 best offensive linemen.
The Patriots have a crap offensive line going into the season, right?
Yes, they did.
What has their coach done with a crappy offensive line with a rookie left tackle?
Made it better. Exactly.
8-2.
And the Seahawks had a crappy offensive line going into the season, didn't they?
Yep, that was their detriment too.
How did they do that? Do they just do a magic spell?
It's based on play calling. It's play calling. Dude, again, I even said this about the Bears offensive line. Yes, they added some pieces, but they went from one of the quote-unquote worst offensive lines to one of the best, not just because of the guys, but because of the plays and how Ben Johnson's calling the plays and putting the defense on the back foot. When is the defense on the back foot against the Packers other than in the 4th quarter when they spread it open, right? The defenses all love the Packers' offensive game plan for 3.5 quarters. They're playing on the front foot. They're attacking because LaFleur's game plan is trash, and the Packers are not causing them any trouble. That's how you fix a bad offensive line. It's with your game plan and with your style of play and when you call the plays and how you keep the defense guessing. When the defense knows what you're going to do, you can't be saved by an offensive line, right? Like, this is Philadelphia in a nutshell. Sirianni gets all this crap for being uninspired on offense, which is true, but they've had this amazing offensive line and these talented players that kind of allow them to overcome that. But you don't think about the Eagles and think about this great offensive game plan ever, right? Because they win with power and punching you in the mouth. Well, we don't have the talent to win that way. Yet LaFleur wants to pretend like he's still coaching Derrick Henry in Tennessee and we just run the ball through people in the middle. That's not how this Packer team is constructed. It's constructed to throw the ball.
Who was his head coach while he was at Tennessee?
Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. That's right. And they had a good offensive line then too. So, but this is what I'm saying. Like, our offensive line has been decent the last couple of years, not great. It's the play calling that's the biggest issue. Defenses are not playing on the back foot. They're not afraid of us right now. They know how to attack us. It's easy to predict what the Packers are going to do.
Tampa Bay this season, they were without Tristan Wirfs. They were without 2 other offensive linemen. Baker
Yep.
is still able to keep everything going without the offensive line because of the play calling, because of they had a good quarterback and they had a good wide receiver, the rookie Igbuka, because they were without their 2 other studs. So the offensive line, I'd like to say you need a strong offensive line, but it isn't the end all be all. It cannot be LaFleur's escape because good coaches are able to do it. And are you telling me that LaFleur is a worse head coach than Todd Bowles?
Yikes. Well, here's another example, Dave. Last week when Carolina beat the Packers, they had 4 backups playing and they dominated the line of scrimmage because they had a better game plan and they were calling plays at the right time, right? Yeah. And then they coaching. And then they go to New Orleans, and New Orleans says, "Oh, their offensive line is hurt. We're going to stack and we're going to force them to run where we want them to run and let Bryce Young beat us." And what did they do? They dominated that game. Rico Dowdle had 48 yards on like 18 carries because they decided to play a certain way and had a good game plan against that offensive line. Dude, 90% of this comes down to coaching. And so this is why I put the blame on LaFleur. The game plan has been atrocious every single week. 0 points in the first half this week. 3 last week, right? Against the Steelers, we had 7, Dave. Is that correct? We had 7 against the Steelers.
Sounds about right.
Or 6. We had 6 because we had 2 field goals. 6 against the Steelers week before that. I mean, it's just disgusting how bad these game plans are going in, and we're not getting any points in the first half. But the defense has played well. I don't like Hafley's scheme because it's really boring and milquetoast, but they're not allowing a lot of points. So, and they got a turnover today, which I said we needed a turnover to win. We got one, but then we turned it over. And I said, if we turn it over, we're going to lose. And we did. But I mean, completely uninspired, I think, is the best way to describe this LaFleur team this year. It's completely uninspired. So, all right. Well, that's our Packers reaction, everybody. Thanks for watching. So many videos.
Bears are at the top of the North. Tied record with the Lions, but we're still ahead of you guys.
Bears still suck.